Greetings once again, Sonic Heroes, Duuz-Diz-Din, back again with Sonic the Hedgehog by IDW. Now, Silver has decided to kind of remain in the past for the time being, to just prolong his help to make sure that the future stays as bright as it can, considering it always seems to be shifting around him. And the most proactive group in the whole of Sonic's world is the Restoration, namely the new team of the Diamond Cutters, who have just gained a new member, Duo the Cat, who is secretly Mimic in disguise, here on a mission of sabotage, under orders by Clutch, who looks to do what the Restoration does, but for profit. So when Silver tries to use his powers to help with the Diamond Cutter's training, Mimic makes his move, endangering everyone's lives and making Silver seem incompetent with his ability, at least in the eyes of Lanolin, who's a little too no-nonsense to look outside the box. But who should recognize that something's rotten in Denver? None other than Whisper, who knows that Duo sabotaged Silver. So the pair have decided to team up and find out what's going on with Duo. Meanwhile, Sonic and Blaze had a nice vacation in Spagonia, making it very obvious that while Silver is having a tough time, at least Blaze is having a good stay in Sonic's time and dimension. But for how long? Join me as I find out. Won't you? I love this cover. Freaking Pepe Silvio meme. Alright. We have Misadventures Part 2 by Evan Stanley, who's on story and art with colors by Valentina Pinto, and then the story Two of a Kind by Ian Flynn, pencils by Mario Fonseca, inks by Rick Mack, colors by my man Reggie Graham. I actually do enjoy that Evan Stanley and Ian Flynn double team these issues. Help kind of keep the excitement up, you know? Letters by Sean Lee, editor David Marriott, production Johanna Natali. It's the roll call! Our heroes, or main characters I should say, Sonic the Hedgehog, the Blue Blur, and the fastest thing alive, Silver the Hedgehog, young psychic hero, friend from the future, Whisper the Wolf, Silent Sniper, Diamond Cutter, Duo the Cat, Two-Faced Traitor, we are really not hiding it, and Diamond Cutter Recruit, Tangle the Lemur, Excitable Hero, Diamond Cutter, Lanolin the Sheep, Woolen Warrior, Diamond Cutter, and, according to Twitter, Wet Blanket, Jewel the Beetle, Crystal Curator, Restoration Leader, and Blaze the Cat, Fire-Powered Princess, friend from another dimension. Another dimension? Another dimension. Ooh, I'm vibing with this art. An overview of Mimic by Whisper, probably telling it to Silver. Mimic, he was once a fierce and clever warrior, my friend, but greed meant more to him than friend, and we have been hunting each other ever since. And now he's here, disguised to finish the job. We won't let him. One mistake, and he's done. And we see Whisper, with her Wispun trained on probably Duo, hiding in the brush with Silver. They're literally just, oh my god. I love how it's kind of a bit of a reference to Silver's hair looking like a friggin' frond plant. Duo's just hanging out. Silver says, but Whisper, we've been following him all day, and he hasn't done anything creepy. Whisper says, shh. Be patient. Silver says, but nothing is happening. When I saw his eyes change color, he was in danger. Silver thinks, if I give him a little spook. Whisper tells him, don't hurt him. We need proof before we strike. Silver uses his power saying, don't worry, I'll catch him. He then grabs Duo's leg with his telekinesis, sending him off the railing that he was standing on. But as he slips down, we see Lanolin grab his leg. Helping him back up, Duo says, thank you. Lanolin says, alright, that's enough. Come on out, Silver. The Rhythm Wisp grabs Silver by his freaking hair. And Silver says, ow, okay, I'm coming. As Lanolin and Duo make their way down the stairs, Lanolin says, I've been watching you sneak around all morning. Remind me to never take you on a stealth mission. True, Silver isn't the most stealthy. That's only when he teams up with Espio. What are you even trying to do? It's then that Whisper makes her way out of the brush saying, stop a monster. Lanolin tells her, Whisper, explain yourself. Silver says she doesn't have to. Duo is lying about who he is. That's Mimic. Lanolin says the shapeshifter? That's a big accusation. Do you have any proof? Whisper says, we will soon. I know what I'm talking about. Mimic has tells. If we can get him to slip, Lanolin protects Duo, saying, so you decided to harass a teammate? Lanolin, I get what you're doing. It's admirable, but you're barking up the wrong tree on this one. Whisper goes to push Lanolin aside, saying I'm not waiting, but Lanolin manages to knock Whisper to the ground. I'd assume that it's mostly because Whisper wasn't really expecting Lanolin to fight her as much. Lanolin says, Silver is one thing. You and I are soldiers. Control yourself. If you have a problem, we can talk about it as a team. Whisper sweeps Lanolin's feet out from under her, and as the crowd gathers to see the commotion, Whisper beats back Lanolin, saying, I won't let it happen again. But Silver spots Duo making his way through the crowd, and Silver shouts out, Hey, get back here! And he gives chase. As he starts to corner Duo in the cafeteria, he tells him, Thought you could sneak away, huh? Duo says, I don't know what you think I did, but I promise I didn't. As Silver uses his telekinesis to levitate all the chairs and tables around them, which, God, I love Evan Stanley's artwork here. With her fan comic, she's just so good at showing off how cool Silver can look sometimes. Silver surrounds Duo, saying, if you've got nothing to hide, why would you run? You're not going anywhere. And he begins to approach Duo. Silver forces Duo into a chair, saying, why don't you take a seat and tell everybody else what you did in Green Hill? Silver shouts, it's over, Mimic. Mimic sees an opportunity and then falls from the chair he was on. As he says, please no, don't hurt me. He falls and hits his head hard. Silver is shocked by this, saying, wait, no. The bystanders all stop as Lanolin and Whisper look on. They say, wait, what did he do to that guy? Did anyone see? He looks really hurt. In comes Tangle and Jewel, with Jewel saying, stay calm, make some space, and somebody call a medic. Tangle says, what the heck happened? Tangle then sees Whisper trembling, saying, I was so sure he was Mimic. But Mimic, he wouldn't. Tangle comes up with Whisper saying, it wasn't supposed to happen like this. Tangle says, oh, Whisper. Tangle embraces her, saying, I know it's hard to stop fighting, but it's okay to let yourself rest, you know? I'm here for you. Oof. Really? I honestly thought this was gonna be over. Jewel asks Lanolin, who started this? And she motions over to Silver. Jewel comes to Silver asking, let me be sure that I understand the situation. You and Whisper thought that he was Mimic and you attacked him? Silver's dumbfounded. As a medic checks on Duo, Silver says, I thought that he'd fight back or transform or just some guy. Lanolin approaches, saying, until you can act more responsibly, I think it would be best for you to stay away from the diamond cutters. That's my vote. Oof. This is not going to help with how people are feeling about Lanolin now. Oh boy. Whisper says, go Silver. I don't want to misguide you again. Jewel then turns to Tangle, saying, Tangle, as a founding member of the team, you have a say here too. Tangle, taken aback, says, she looks at Whisper and says, I'm sorry, Silver. The diamond cutters have to stick together, and I guess you're not going to be a part of that. Silver attempts to say something at first, but feeling as though he's done enough, he simply walks away, with no one noticing the wry smile that Duo gives. We then pick up with Duo in the infirmary, his arm in a sling as he eats. Jewel enters, saying, hello, it's Duo, yes? Duo says, oh, Miss Jewel. She comes in saying, I came as soon as I could. As the director of the restoration, I wanted to offer my sincere apologies. Trust me, this is not the typical experience for a new recruit. Duo says, it's no big deal. I can take my lumps. And hey, I get room service here. Jewel says, I was hoping I could make it up to you. How would you like to help out in my office? Temporarily, of course. Once you've recovered, you can rejoin the diamond cutters in the field. There are plenty of ways to help the restoration that don't involve getting walloped. Duo's taken aback, saying, me? Work for you? Absolutely, I'd be honored. Jewel says, fantastic, I'll be seeing you soon. And as she exits and Duo waves her off, his eyes shift to that of Mimic, who says, my, what an interesting development. He takes his arm out of the sling, obviously okay, and thus we end the story. Oh boy, I don't know how to feel about that. I legitimately thought we were going to end that story. But to have it go on? Oh man. Especially since I know that the following stories don't address this. At least from the solicitations they don't. So, oh man, are we really gonna have this just happening in the background? Oof. This is unfortunate, because Lanolin hasn't been around long enough to... Well, I say that, despite the fact that she was in issue 1, but she hasn't been an active hero in the series long enough to get the fans on her side enough. There are some people who will understand that from her perspective, we don't have any proof. You're acting very impulsively. If you felt some kind of way, you should have come to me and said something. Very by the book ways of doing things, which make a lot of sense. It's sad because Mimic has seen all the angles on this one and he's playing it perfectly. And the biggest downside is that his mission wasn't necessarily to outright kill one person. It's just cause general mayhem and disrupt activities and bring it all down as he goes. And now having a position right next to the person in charge, jeez. Like literally bumbled into success. That's frustrating, and more people are going to take it out on Lanolin than I feel like the actual perpetrator, which is Mimic. That's gonna suck. Oh boy. Alright, next storyline. We pick up in the Emeraldville ruins, with Sonic and Blaze speeding down the street with little tote bags, Sonic eating the chili dog, Blaze eating cake. Ooh, that cake looks good. Blaze says, swift as you are, Tails and Amy's lunches are well past room temperature now. Sonic says, it's all good. Joseph's pasta alla pasico is good hot or cold. I'm pretty sure Tails has a gizmo that heats food up perfectly. At least when I put a day-old chili dog in it. Jeez. On one hand you have Blaze, refined and elegant. On the other hand you have Sonic. All of none of that. I swear, I'm looking at some of these background characters. Love it. Oh wait, was this all a setup to get Blaze and Silver to hang out? As they race past the entrance to the restoration, the secret entrance, and Sonic spots him saying, hey, is that Silver? Blaze says he appears to be upset. I should check on him, she says as she hands her tote and her piece of cake over to Sonic, who almost fumbles it. He almost fumbles the bag, man! Silver's just melancholy and playing with a garden hoe. Blaze comes over asking, Silver, are you alright? Silver says, no, Blaze, I messed things up again. SBO gave me solid advice, but it's so hard to follow when I can't be proactive. As Silver mopes, Blaze takes a moment to think and says, I see, you're still preoccupied with finding your purpose in this time period. Consider this. You want the Victory Garden to flourish, correct? Silver says, of course. She then asks, you want the harvest its bounty eventually? Silver says, yes. Blaze then adds, well, you achieve that with bold, proactive action, or with small, dedicated efforts over time. Silver pauses and thinks about this for a moment. He then says, with a smile, it's like you said, listen and provide. Thanks, Blaze. You always know what to say to make things make sense. Blaze simply says, so long as you're willing to listen, I will always be willing to help. Aw, they're cute. Suddenly, Sonic interrupts with a very obnoxious slurping on a soda. He then mockingly says, you two are great together. Much to the two's dismay, they all pause for a moment, and Sonic then comes up saying, I mean it. You two always seem to be in perfect sync. You really complement each other as a duo. Man, Sonic pushing that narrative. He then bumps his soda into a trash can saying, it's like how me and Tails operate. Trusting each other, covering each other's blind spots, and making sure we don't miss meals. I owe him an Amy pasta. I'll catch you later. He takes the 2 tote bags and heads inside, as Silver and Blaze wave him off. As he closes the door, Silver says, there are days I honestly don't know whether he's the coolest guy in the world or if I should throw a car at him. I mean, Silver, you've done both. Blaze, almost out of character, gives a very hearty laugh, although quickly regains her composure. I feel that Blaze can relate to that. She says, he can come on strong, but that's part of his charm. Silver says, I suppose so. Blaze tells him, the two of you aren't so different, all things considered. This takes Silver off guard, who asks, excuse me? Blaze explains, saying, you both prefer to act decisively and strikingly. You have immense power, and all you want to do with it is protect others. It's noble, commendable. Silver then gives a cheeky smile, saying, maybe that's why we're so in sync. You're the same as us too. Blaze obviously takes a bit of offense to that, saying, I beg your pardon. Silver explains, you're the princess of an entire empire and have tremendous power of your own. Either one of those could have made you unapproachable. Instead, you use your position and power to protect everyone. Not just because you have to, but because you want to. I think it's inspiring. Blaze is obviously embarrassed as she quickly finishes her cake. We have a bit of an awkward pause between the two of them. Lots of awkward pauses. Blaze says, it is my duty, but thank you. Silver says, don't mention it. Blaze then says, this world and time certainly seem to bring out the best in us, don't they? Silver says, they sure do. And you've been the one going out there and seeing a lot of it. Blaze looks around at the city, saying, there is still a great deal left to see and understand. She then extends a hand, saying, how about we do so together? Silver questions, what? Right now? Blaze tells him, no time like the present. And as she helps Silver up, he says, was that a time travel joke? Did you just tell a time travel joke? Blaze smiles, saying, and if I did? As the two race off with their respective powers, Silver says that I absolutely have to come along. I have to see what else this world inspires in you. Blaze says, very well, let's go. Silver questions, where to first? Blaze says, I've heard there is a city called Soliana, and that it's lovely this time of year. Really? Silver says, sounds good to me. Lead the way. Oh man, the irony of that. Of course, an Ian Flynn story. Yeah, next time a heist on Angel Island and a feast at Cream's house. So really, we are leaving the wolf in the hen house. Dang. Bit of a roundabout way of getting Silver and Blaze to actually kind of hang out. But hey, if this is how it had to be done, I just feel like we really took some hits at a very new character who, I don't know, I feel bad because I'm seeing, so many issues people are having with Lanolin now that I'm just like, dang. And it's great that people are really sympathizing with Silver, considering that used to be that some people weren't too happy with Silver back in the day. Oh man, you'd think that Lanolin was the villain of this issue, but enough of the discourse. What do I think about this situation? I think it's a bit interesting and a bit irritating to a certain degree. Just because knowing that the villain is lurking, it makes me anxious. But maybe that was the idea. You know, you have Mimic just around. You never know when he's gonna make his move. Will he make his move? Will he have a change of heart? Could he even have a change of heart after what he's done? I also am kind of bummed that it also feels like it came at the expense of Whisper too, because now Whisper doesn't know if she can trust her own feeling. I don't like the idea that now, despite the fact that the Restoration, which was the Resistance, Silver wasn't he the second in command of that whole operation? Oof. I know nobody really felt those ideas were the best, but man, no respect for Silver. Should be used to it by now, but even so, it just really makes me curious when that shoe is gonna drop. And I don't know if I'd be okay with it taking up to an anniversary issue to get the payoff for this. Because I could see that happening. Issue 75, Mimic makes his big move for Clutch. Ugh. Man, I don't know. That feels frustrating to me. But we'll see. I've trusted this team with stuff before and got some good payoff. Usually when we get those really punchy moments, they really do hit. So I'll trust the process. It's hard to shake this feeling in my gut with all of that, but maybe that's what they were going for. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about the fact that Mimic is still lingering? So now Silver and Blaze are hanging out. And, it just ain't a great look for the team of the Diamond Cutters, at least in my opinion, but maybe you have a difference of opinion. So like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the ride, and until next time, I've been Duuz-Diz-Din. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you later. Take care. Bye-bye.